candidates are locked in for the District 125 San Antonio area special election. An autopsy rules a Leon Springs shooting a suicide. And the getaway driver of a 2013 killing of a San Antonio police officer is sentenced to life in prison. This is your Express Briefing podcast for Tuesday, January 15th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts. And get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. Next month, 4 Democrats and 1 Republican will compete in a special election to become San Antonio's newest state representative. Texas House District 125 covers a swath of the west and northwest sides and was left vacant when Justin Rodriguez accepted an appointment to the Bexar County Commissioner's Court. The lone Republican in the race is Fred Ronhell, a small business owner and former city council candidate. He faces Democrat Steve Huerta, a social justice policy advisor, former 8-year West Side City Councilman Ray Lopez, and Coda Rayo Garza, a senior coordinator for the San Antonio Independent School District. The state's legislative session began last week, and the special election to fill the empty seat will take place February 12th, with early voting starting January 28th. A police autopsy has found a woman who was fatally shot along with 2 children at an upscale home near Leon Springs in far northwest Bexar County took her own life. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office has now ruled last week's death of 37-year-old Nicole Olson a suicide. Monday, Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar said the deaths of the 2 children have been ruled homicides, and investigators are still trying to determine who killed them. The 2 girls were Olson's daughter, 16-year-old Alexa Montez, and a 10-year-old girl who has not been positively identified, though is presumed to be a second daughter of Olson. Sheriff Salazar has taken the unusual step of assuring the public his agency will continue its investigation without being swayed solely by the medical examiner's findings, noting in his words that his office owes it to the public and to the victims in this case and their families to continue this investigation. Nicole Baptiste, a close friend of Olson for 8 years, strongly disputes the finding that Olson's death was a suicide, insisting that her friend would not have killed herself and would not kill her own children. The sheriff's office says investigators recovered a weapon from the house in the 11,300 block of Inagua Springs, but has yet to reveal if a suicide note was also found. The shootings were discovered Thursday around 9 a.m., when the homeowner, who also lives at the residence but stayed elsewhere the night before, returned home. The man, who was romantically involved with Olson, has reportedly cooperated with authorities. And rather than face a jury trial, Monday, 33-year-old Genevieve Ramos pleaded guilty to murder for her role in the 2013 slaying of San Antonio police officer Robert Deckard, receiving a sentence of life in prison. Around midnight on December 28, 2013, Ramos was driving while her boyfriend, Sean Puente, fired a 9mm Ruger semi-automatic pistol out the back window of a Mitsubishi Lancer, hitting 31-year-old officer Robert Deckard as he pursued them. The 7-year police veteran then lost control of his cruiser and ran into a tree off Interstate 37. He was taken off life support and died 13 days later, leaving behind a wife and 2 children. Ramos was 28 when she and then 32-year-old Puente robbed as many as 4 small businesses in San Antonio at gunpoint during a 2-week spree. Officer Deckard was on patrol on the south side near downtown when he began pursuing the suspected armed robbers, who were dressed all in black while wearing bulletproof vests. The chase reached speeds of 115 miles per hour as the vehicle snaked through South Bexar County, into Wilson County, and finally Atascosa. Genevieve Ramos has also pleaded guilty to a charge of attempted capital murder and was sentenced to life in prison for shooting at a police officer. The 2 life sentences will be served at the same time, and Ramos won't be eligible for parole until after she serves 30 years. Last year, the shooter, Sean Puente, was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole after an Atascosa County jury found him guilty, but deadlocked on whether to send him to death row. And that's your daily San Antonio Express briefing for Tuesday, January 15th. Subscribe to this and other free content at expressnews.com/podcasts.